All right, it's 8 o'clock. We'll get started. Welcome to the sixth episode of Fuel the Fire podcast. I do a terrible job, or have done a terrible job in the last five of introducing myself. I am Matt Berg. I have done a terrible job at saying my name as we've started this, so I threw that in there. Your host of the episode, trying to push along some conversation, and I've got four out of the four members of the Instructor Society tonight, three of the trustees and the president that we're going to have an awesome conversation with. We had a conflict with our Northwest trustee Oscar, so we may have to catch him up, get him on here one day for his own. We can probably talk for quite a few hours with just me and Oscar, probably. So awesome to have you guys on here. Good to meet the heart and soul of the society, I would say, the trustees and the president. So let's have ourselves a good conversation. I think we're just gonna start, just go around a little bit and introduce yourselves. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you guys like to do, years of service, where you're from, that kind of stuff, and then we'll kick it off with some questions. Mike, you want to go?
Yeah, I can start us off. Uh, hey, everybody. uh, Excited to be part of the society as the newest trustee for the Southeast region. Again, my name is Michael Hawley. A little bit about me. Fifth generation North Dakota firefighter. I take a lot of pride in that fact. So kind of grew up around the fire hall, dads, uncles, grandfather, all that stuff. Got into the fire service fairly young. Been in it almost 13 years now. Started as a volunteer with West Fargo. In 2017, was lucky enough to be hired on with the Fargo Fire Department. Been there ever since. Currently serve as a training captain. So I primarily deal with the Metro Joint Fire Academy. So me and Matt get to deal real closely with that on a day-to-day, if not week-to-week basis.
Yep.
Training young hearts and
36-week race.
minds, and we were just talking before this about we actually have our next academy starting tomorrow. So it's gonna be all hands on deck for me, instructing, and that's really where I put a majority of my time and effort is into the recruit academy, and then I assist a little bit with the facilities and new drivers programs and stuff like that. In addition, currently on the West Fargo Rural Fire Department as well. Also serve as training captain there. So yeah, I get to see fire service from all angles. Full time, paid on call, volunteer, all of the above. Big, small, extremely urban, extremely rural. So I feel like I bring a fairly unique perspective to the society, and really can get a good grasp, at least within that Southeast region, of the different challenges and aspects that a lot of different departments deal with, whether that be again on the training side, whether that be on the retention, recruitment, call volume. Again, call volume big, call volume small. I've kind of dealt with all of it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to this new challenge, this new role, being able to provide input where I see, I feel like I can assist as needed. Been instructing with the NDFA for about 2-3 years now, something like that. Done a fair amount of AutoX. That's kind of where I got my start in it. And now have probably in the more recent time here been doing more evaluating than instructing, with a lot of those like Fire 1, Fire 2 tests going around. I try and keep my hands off of hazmat as much as possible. I'm definitely more in the technical rescue aspect of things. So I'm on the Southeast Regional Technical Rescue Team out of Fargo. So I also I'm the primary instructor for all of our ropes awareness and ops, and one of the SMEs for the rope rescue NDFA standard as well. So like I said, got my fingers in a little bit of everything, as long as it's not hazmat. So, but really enjoy that aspect of the fire service. Really enjoy, like I said, as far as instruction with the NDFA, um, Auto X. Otherwise, just as kind of as far as some topics that I enjoy instructing within the academy and on the rural side of things too. Um, I actually really enjoy rural water supply and all the minutia involved in that. The little tips and tricks and idiosyncrasies of things to help really streamline that process and really, one of the things I like to say is if you take 20 seconds here at the beginning, I mean, it's going to save you minutes, if not, hours down the road when you're on scene for 12 hours at a time. So I really enjoy teaching that process. Really enjoy ventilation. I wouldn't say I'm necessarily an engine guy or a truck guy. I like aspects of both sides of things. Yeah, like I said, I get to have my fingers in all that and really be able to see those recruits from their most basic, having no experience at all, and then at the end developing them into professional or paid on call firefighters, and really be able to set them off on the right foot and um, at least get them to day one, so that that bell comes in 7:30 a.m. that first day on shift, right? Um, you never know what could happen. It could literally be their very first minute, and they're getting that fire. So being able to pull that line, do a search, force a door, supply a hydrant, that sort of type of stuff. That's really what we stress within our Metro Fire Academy. Um, we're not trying to make 2-year firefighters, 5-year firefighters, 10-year firefighters right out of an 18-week academy. It's all we're trying to do is get them to day one. So I really enjoy that process. Taking my little balls of clay and molding them.
Yep, it's fun
So
to watch them
yeah,
grow.
that's a little bit about me. Yeah.
Yep, nice. Thanks, Mike. You sound like the classic North Dakota firefighter instructor. You like a lot of things, good at a lot of things, get your fingers in a lot of things. So that's awesome. Thank you very much. We'll go up the interstate to Aaron, our Northeast Regional Trustee there. Aaron, can you do something similar? Talk about yourself. How's it going up there?
Not too bad, Matt. Not too bad. Can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, great. Aaron Lande, been in the fire service now for 25 years, 23 active in the fire department. Now I just do the teaching and teaching and the testing. I'm not in the fire service as far as active on a fire department anymore. I did serve in Mayville and then also in Hillsboro a little bit as I worked in Hillsboro. So it's kind of unique to be since I worked in Hillsboro, lived in Mayville, both volunteer departments that work kind of close together. So I got to serve in both departments for a little while when I was working in Hillsboro.
Nice.
Um, so yeah, been in long line of firefighters here too. That my family was all involved in the fire service as well. Um, Basically, I went in the Air Force, wanted to be a firefighter. You know how it goes. A recruiter tells you one thing, and then you get there and you don't quite get what they tell you. So I did end up working on fire trucks. So that was kind of a plus. I did, and I actually was when I left Minot Air Force Base in 2001. I was actually in charge of the fire truck maintenance shop there in Minot Air Force Base. So got to see a little bit of that side of it. And just so everyone aware, government lowest bidder is not always the greatest when it comes to fire
Oh,
apparatus.
yeah. Hey
But
man, that's
anyways,
how a space shuttle got in the air though.
you're true. I mean, true. I mean, but anyways, keep that in mind. But
Yeah.
so past NDFA president back in 2015 in Jamestown. I've been teaching now. It's hard to believe. My daughter was just a baby, and now she's 15. So it's 15 years of teaching. And then some of the subjects I started off kind of in grain bin extrication, followed into that. That was kind of a natural suit. I did a little bit of auto X, but I'd rather play with cutting up the cars and actually, maybe teach it. But live fire, a little bit of hazmat. I've taught some hazmat classes, encouraged to be safe, and then also been a tester evaluator for the state of North Dakota as well. So that's kind of, I guess, in the nutshell. So
Again, a little bit of everything. I love it. All right, we'll move over to the Southwest. Joe, why don't you go ahead, do the same. Tell us a little bit about yourself, what you like.
I don't know if I can follow Mike's
No,
Mike's little spiel there. That's pretty
nobody
good.
can. Nobody can.
So yeah, so I started on the fire service at Mandan Rural Fire Department back in 1998 as a young 18-year-old kid. My dad actually helped organize the south end of the Mandan Rural area down by St. Anthony, so he was involved with that. My brother's a captain over there. My uncle's been on there for a long time also. So in 2006, tested for the Bismarck Fire Department, and I've been there ever since. So coming up on 20 years. Kind of a long time. Doesn't seem like it took that long, but it 20 years goes by pretty quick. So been teaching for the NDFA, I'd say probably around 13, 15 years. Do a lot of the auto extrication. You'll see me up at the State Fire School teaching with Eric. We developed the advanced auto class that's up there, the car pile. Um, Also do EVOC, live fire, tester evaluator for the NDFA, and just enjoy all aspects of the fire service. It's an ever changing job, right? So you go to work one day and you might be running medicals for a while, then you run a car fire, hazmat incidents. The next day is different. So just love the fire service and the brotherhood and the sisterhood that's here, and everybody you get to meet. So I thoroughly enjoy going out and teaching. I tell a lot of guys that I learn probably just as much, if not more, from them, from some of these smaller departments than I teach them. So just love the job, love instructing, and where I'm at. So
Yep, that's awesome. Yeah, I agree with you. I love going to these departments outside of mine. You can always learn something. It's nice to see their operation. It's nice to see what they work with, and you hit it just right. You can always learn from somebody else. So that's super cool. Good theory to always live by when you're instructing. We're talking about instructors in this podcast, and that's one thing that you got to always keep in mind is that you're going to their house and they do it their way. That's their culture. You kind of just have to mold with what they got, and you're going to learn something. You're going to see something new. There's lots of hand-built, home-built things out in the country, and it's pretty cool to see what people with, maybe it's lack of money or lack of people can come up with and make their lives better, all around here. So it's pretty cool to see that stuff when you get out
and
there.
to be honest with you, Matt, I mean, some of these smaller departments, the volunteer departments, they probably see more fire than most of us full-time guys do,
Yep.
because and you guys, I'm kind of jealous listening to you guys talk about fires down in the Fargo area, because me and Eric are sitting there going, we haven't fought a fire in a long time. So
Yeah, well, we got to get west of Ninth Street is very similar to you. East of Ninth Street, they got it going on. Yeah, no, that's cool. It's always something good to think about when you're instructing or want to be an instructor is you're gonna get outed in these rural places too, and you got to work with them. You got to bring them everything you got to make the class good, but you got to work with what they got to offer too. So. All right, we'll go over to the president. Like I said, we don't have Oscar. Oscar Knudtson is the Northwest trustee. He had a conflict tonight and couldn't jump on, so we're gonna have the president jump in. Erik Kanz, thanks for joining us as well. He's been on a few. He's always got shooting me texts with good ideas, so it's been awesome to be working with him too.
Yeah, my plan to hide behind these four fine gentlemen didn't really pan out tonight. But you are true is what you said earlier is true. We got to have Oscar on because he's a huge asset to the state.
Yep.
Um, and he probably can do his own episode. Oscar's
I
got
don't I don't even know if I'll get to talk, but
yeah, he's got a lifetime of stories. It's amazing. I love sitting down and chatting with him. Yeah, so my name is Erik Kanz. I'm newly elected president of the Instructor Society. I was vice president this past year, and the first of the year took over as president. Um, I don't have the history in the fire service like Joe, Mike, and Aaron have. I'm first firefighter in my family. The only cans in the state of North Dakota. I started my fire service career in central Minnesota with a volunteer department. I was there for 3 years. Actually had no interest in ever being a firefighter, and one of my best friends was on the volunteer department, And he talked me into it over a period of time. Finally got me to put in an application, and from the first meeting night, I fell in love with it. I said, "This is amazing." I owe almost everything to that volunteer department because they put me through all my Fire One, Two, EMT, and then I left them. I applied out in Bismarck and I got hired, and they were happy to be that, for lack of a better term, that stepping stone.
Yeah.
They were proud of me, and that was wonderful to have. I still have support from that department, so I owe a lot to the New York Mills Volunteer Department. But yeah, I started my career in Bismarck in 2015, and Joe was my mentor after a few years. Joe has been a mentor to a lot of young firefighters, and he was my mentor through my young fire service. And I saw promotion. I was promoted to captain. Oh, let's see here. Probably I should know what year. 4 or 5 years ago, something like that. Um, and I've been with Bismarck since 2015. So I'm bad at math. I don't know how many years that is, but it goes quick. Like Joe said, it goes really quick. So I'd rather not put a number to it because I'm still having fun.
Yeah.
So
It's funny
um,
you remember the day you're hired, but you don't remember any of those little things that happen like in between.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. My
I do
door
that
my
same thing.
door code is my anniversary, and I can never remember what it is. But if it was my day to hire for the fire department,
Yeah,
I'd be good.
everybody's
So
got that now.
so. I enjoy teaching just about anything. There's some pretty good competition to teach the fun classes, the Auto X and Live Fire. So I kind of teach some of the classes that there's not competition for. So hazmat, that's kind of where I got my start, was teaching hazmat.
Me too.
Um, and I kind of fell in love with teaching hazmat. It was a challenge to make it fun. I think I still make it fun for some of the classes, but that's up to the students. We try to do a lot of experiments and do some science stuff, and that's really where I can kind of get my hooks into some people and get them involved in hazmat, because it is something that every department in the state sees a lot of, especially in the wintertime with CO calls. And so hazmat's a hazmat's a good class for everybody to take, and I try to get people to fall in love with it, but it's tough. There he is. There's the
There he
there's the
is.
man.
He's here. He made it.
Yeah, yeah. And then as far as I teach AutoX with Joe, and I'm not as passionate about AutoX as Joe is, but I'm very passionate about teaching with Joe. Joe is a wonderful instructor, and me and him have a blast, and I think we're a good 1-2 combo for teaching that class. I think a lot of people have fun with us, and yeah, so that's my instructing history.
It's always great to have a partner in crime where things just flow. I've got Rick that's mine. We go out and we just have fun, and we love what we teach, and we both can feed off of each other. And once you get that person, it's just so nice that you're having an off day, they can carry you, or they're having an off day and you can carry them. It just goes back and forth. You had a long week or something like that, and you're not 100% there, and they're there. That's always so nice that you can get a partner to work on, and that's part of instructing in North Dakota is that you're not gonna always be single out there. You have partners, and you can get others to join and add others to your classes. That's the awesome thing about the NDFA is that you're able to work with others from all around the state. Yep. All right, Oscar, you made it, man. We've been waiting for you all night, all 19 minutes worth. We'll just have you
Yeah,
start.
yeah. I had a regular fire department meeting tonight, and then I'm getting out a little early. I skipped out on the training,
Ah,
but just get on this. But
we'll just start with
um,
introduction of yourself, what you like, what you teach, all that stuff, and then I got a couple questions that we'll work through.
okay, Oscar Knudtson. I'm with Watford City Volunteer Fire Department and also with Billings County Rural.
Hmm.
Got started in 1976, and came well, they put me in as chief officer like in 1981. So like pretty young at the time, pretty green, but kind of found I had a knack for firefighting. Didn't I wasn't even on my radar joining the fire department. Um, but my first training gig that I can remember was over in Newtown. It was actually a wildland class, and I get asked. It was after we had a big wildland fire out our way, so it must have been somewhere in early '90s. It might have been before that, but uh, Joe Baseflug and Monk Gilman were the guys that were doing the class, and they plugged me in, and my first time ever, and um, they kind of liked what they saw, I guess, so they kept me going. Then after that, we did jumped right into the old the Firefighter One with the old Red Book. Some of you guys have never even seen that
Nope.
book.
I've heard of it, never seen it.
Yeah, well, I've got the Red Book and the White Book. So, and we started out, we just kind of did it as a kind of taught ourselves out of the Red Book, and went to test. We got everybody passed, and then it seemed like every new group of firefighters were brought in. I seemed like I took on getting them through the Red Book and then the White Book, and then it was the IFSTA manuals, and we were into fire engineering for a while. So I've actually taught and got certified every firefighter in our department from whenever the Red Book started until this past year when I got finally got somebody took that job over for me. So
Nice.
yeah, so kind of deeply immersed in the Firefighter 1 and 2. And then I my introduction to teaching at fire school kind of came in a backwards fashion as well. I think it's the year I was second vice of the association, and of course we came down a day early, and just huge blizzard hit everything. Well, was pretty much from New Salem all the way west, and we had a instructor from Miles City with the Montana DNRC was supposed to come over and do a wildland class, and Lois Hartman, who was our executive director at the time, he couldn't make it. He tried 4 or 5 times, couldn't get out of Miles City or couldn't get to the state line. And she came up to me. She says, "Could you teach this class?" Well, I said, "I don't have any materials." Well, the guy had the foresight to send everything ahead of time, so it was there. So I looked at what they got and ran up to State Forestry, picked up some more training items, some videos and stuff, and kind of plugged and played that one for about 3 sessions, and again it went really well, and I had good reviews, and after that it just seemed like I've been teaching at fire school about every year in some form or fashion since then.
Yep, nice. Yep, that sounds like the North Dakota way too, is you get bamboozled in it. I got bamboozled into hazmat. That's what I got shot into right away. Hey, come on over. You can just work with me. And then I took it over the next year. So I said, I know how that feels. Awesome. Well, thanks, guys. That is great. It is awesome to hear from you guys. Totally different points of view, and it's great to be able to have instructors from metros, from rurals. So that's part of the Instructor Society is that you're gonna get somebody that knows your way, that's done your way, whether it is a rural setting or a bigger city. So that's the diversity that we got in the Instructor Society. So one of the questions, we'll go back to Mike. One of the questions that I had is, what do you want to accomplish in the time here that you're the trustee? I know that's kind of a big bite, but give us some insight. What you thinking?
Yeah, when I originally put in for it, it wasn't anything that I had this big grand state address, to accomplish and um, ride into election night on. It kind of like I was talking about with my background. I feel like I have a unique perspective on the fire service, being able to see it from a lot of different directions. So I feel like I can help kind of bridge that gap between the full time and the paid on call and the volunteer firefighters and urban and rural and really to the fact of it's an old saying, but a high tide raises all ships, right? Mm-hmm. So as the NDFA improves, as the Instructor Society improves, as the overall education and instruction funding and leadership of the state improves, really every fire department should see benefits from that, and in turn, right, that directly pays to better outcomes for the citizens that we serve, right, or the people that are passing through our interstates or highways, things like that. So like I said, I never had any real big ideations of like, this is what I want to accomplish. I think one thing as I've gotten to see a little bit behind the curtain so far, one thing I'd kind of like to start pushing is just more of a, hey, you've become an instructor, now what, right? We've got a great Instructor One program that's developed through the NDFA. Self-directed, people are able to do it at their own pace, as time allows. Instructor 2 is in the works. Live fire instructor is in the works. Instructor in charge is in the works, right? So there's some big things as far as the instructor side that are coming down the pipe. But I think there's a lot of departments, at least from my perspective, there's a lot of people that put that Instructor One certificate specifically as that's a checkbox, right? Mm-hmm. That's just the next thing I do. I've gotten 2, 3, 4, 5 years on, something like that. What's my next thing? Because maybe I want to be an officer someday. Maybe I want to promote. Instructor, right? Now, just because you have that Instructor One certificate does not mean you're an adequate instructor to be able to take material and provide good outcomes for your students. So I think that's something that the Instructor Society can help kind of spearhead, not only in the fact of developing instructors, but also to allow those instructors that maybe aren't going into it to become a training officer, to become a training captain, something like that, but maybe do have the idea that, hey, I wouldn't mind evaluating for Fire 1, Fire 2, or actually I do like hazmat. It'd be nice to maybe do some classes with that. And just to help kind of streamline that process, lay out that groundwork for that person that, hey, I got my Instructor One. Now, what do I do with it? Like, if I wanted to go teach that, what do I need to do to accomplish that? Who do I need to shadow? And just kind of be able to lay out that process. Here's the resources that the NDFA provides. Here's the resources that the Instructor Society provides. Here's maybe someone that already teaches this class that you can pick their brain and get some ideas, or, hey, how do I go about doing this? Or here's a good person to shadow. And then too, obviously there's benefits in it for them, being able to be kind of essentially a private contractor and, make some money on the side for it. And, increasing the aptitude and the availability of instructors and evaluators in the state. Again, and especially high quality instructors, high quality evaluators, because even if you're evaluating a topic, doesn't mean that you can't provide good input and develop people even in the short amount of time that you have them. Again, benefits each individual departments. It's going to benefit our instructors in their growth, but it's also going to benefit the NDFA and just kind of continue to move that process forward. So,
yep, for sure. Yep, that's awesome. Thank you very much, Aaron. You got anything to add to what you wanted to accomplish once you got into helping with the Instructor Society?
Well, I guess what comes to mind to me, I guess, is back in when I was on the board when we were for the NDFA before this society was, became about. We were kind of talking over beers. Rick Jorgensen, Graba, Rob Knuth, Gilbertson. And the list was humongous. I mean, you've been in some of those discussions too, I'm sure, Matt, at fire school and conventions and stuff. And we started talking about this society and kind of what we wanted to do with it, or what it would benefit. And I guess one of the reasons, when they first got the society going, they asked me if would you like to be on the board, or would you ever like, and I'm like, no, I just got off the NDFA board. Let somebody else have the adder, and then a position came open. So then I ran and got on the board. But I think one of the things that I kind of want to, I guess, bring the focus back to is how do we get the instructors interested in becoming instructors, or the ones that go, I don't really know if I want to do this, or how do I do it, or you get those guys that are, or gals, that are like, I can't teach. I mean, I can't do it. I'm just not. I don't think I could do that. Um, and try to figure out how we can grasp those people and get them to, say, hey, I'll take your hand and, show you how I did it, or help you out, give you some ideas. And then we have this group, the society of, the Instructor Society, of all these people that can, mentor you, or, bounce ideas off of. And, you know, anytime, because like for me, it's kind of a funny story. I don't want to go out too far off topic and take up a bunch of time, but you know, I taught at our fire department, and uh, I was posting some videos on social media, and Rick Graba and Jorgensen came into the Grand Forks Fire Equipment's little feed they had, and they're like, "Anybody know who this Aaron Lande guy is in Mayville? We've got to talk to him. We've got some issues with some of the stuff he's posting." I'm like, "Oh my god, I'm deep
Run.
doo doo." And I was like, "Exit stage right," and
Yeah.
I'm like, "Oh man, what did I do?" And Gray was like, "Hey, would you ever like to teach, young man?" And I'm like, I don't think I can do that. I've seen your videos. You can do it. You're doing great things. So that's kind of my goal, is to be that Graba guy and see the potential out there in this, in the state, and be like, you know what, you could be an instructor. You should be an instructor, and then give them some resources and some mentorship. That's kind of my goal, I
Yep.
guess, with the society, is to provide mentorship.
That's awesome. Yeah, there's people out there that's all they need is that push. They offer good information every day in their departments or wherever they're at, and they just need that push to go out and spread their message. So yeah, that's an awesome point. Joe?
100% agree with Landy. We just got to get some mentorship. The people that can teach, they might not know they can teach, but they can teach.
Yeah.
Something I'd like to see too is, just because we're the certified instructors, or we go around and we teach for the NDFA, we need to also include those training officers for the departments that just want to teach for their department. It doesn't take $1 million budget to come up with training ideas. A lot of us sitting here can probably come off with a couple of them off top of our heads just right at the second. So just to be available for the departments in my area to reach out to me. Hey, we're stuck. We need ideas. What do you got?
Yeah.
Bounce some ideas off me, and if I don't have something that day, I'll call Eric, or I'll call you, Matt, whatever, but just to help out. We got to get out there and help these guys, and training is important. I know some departments, some people don't think it is, but training could save your life someday. So training is very important.
Yep, that's awesome. Yep, there's people, like we said, there's people that want to do good and they just don't know where else to go. They don't have the books that everybody else has, or not running on the social media that some are watching, and they just are out of ideas, or they're at an impasse with members in their department. We've all run into that before, where people don't want to train or don't show up when it's training. So they just get stuck, and it's nice that to have a group of you guys that are able to give insight on what to do, with a subject, or with how to make things interesting and how to bring people back. So yeah, that's super important, I think. So it's good that you guys are thinking that direction. Oscar?
Um, what was the question?
What are you thinking you'd like to accomplish with the Instructor Society while you're in your spot?
I end up kind of backed into this thing, and maybe kind of got strong armed. I'm probably looking at that in the probably um twilight of my career. Probably wasn't something that I was really looking for. But I think philosophically for me, being in this game for almost 5 decades, is I still got stuff in my head that I feel I can share and help
Rattle it out of there.
Huh?
You need to
Yeah,
rattle
I
it
can,
out of there.
I got to try and figure out how to get rid of it and pass it on to somebody else. So that's, I think either whether it be general knowledge or how to do this or whatever, or even helping to coach somebody, to be an instructor. That's where I could see my role is. I mean, I'm other thing when you've been around for as long as I have, you end up being the historian for the whole fire service thing there, and the NDFA in my head. So there's a lot of things. So here's why things are run this way, or here's why we came up with this idea, or here's why we do things this way. Um, so yeah, for me, it's like, well, what can I give of myself to either the board and maybe keep them on the right track? What can I give to young instructors? But they got to ask too.
Yeah, yeah, that's part of it too, is you don't know if they don't talk to you. That's really important that if there are people out there that are thinking about it, you gotta speak up too to the people that are instructing and get in there, and it's better to um be asked to do it than voluntold to do it, I guess is kind of a way to think about it. You get into some smaller departments and you go to the bathroom and all of a sudden you're the training officer. I've heard that story numerous times around. So just because they do a good job, or they're interested or something like that. So it's best to get into helping out and instructing before you're voluntold to do it or nominated to do it, and you have an idea, you have a mentor, you have somebody you can reach to and bebop ideas off. So that's a good thing too.
I think sometimes with that, yeah, going to the bathroom and all of a sudden you come back as a training officer. I think what that shows is that the membership themselves aren't that very serious about training.
Yeah.
It's a spot someone's got to fill, and oftentimes I think you see that when the guy tries to do something within that position, he just kind of gets shut down, and it's
Yeah.
like it's pretty disheartening.
Yeah.
He may have the heart, he may have the desire, and like felt the obligation to do it, but I think that's maybe where we can help too, and says don't get discouraged. Sometimes you just got to be, keep at it, keep at it, keep at it, and um, and come up with some ideas and challenge your people. Um, you know, Competition or you guys need this,
Yeah.
or powered by shame, or however you want to do it. I mean, there's you have to have a kind of a talent for it, and you have to have a desire, but some of that, and some skill level as far as communication, but some of that can be learned.
Yeah, yep, for sure. Yeah, it's crazy what a stopwatch does to people. It could sure shut some people down real quick. It's just a stopwatch. They think they're all that, and you put that on them, and you're like, oh, I'm not so good. I just ran our task book the other day, and I was not that good, so I understand that for sure. So, Eric, you got anything else?
Well, I have a little bit different role in my position, and it's to bridge the gap of what these four gentlemen were just talking about and the fire departments out there. Increase the visibility, increase the interactions with these four gentlemen that want to help out the fire service, and the fire service. So bring them together. And that's what tonight's about, and that's some of the other stuff we'll talk about is, um, fire school, our visibility up at fire school, and increasing these interactions with rural chiefs and rural training officers, and ultimately those two individuals in the fire department are the most influential. And if I can put Mike in contact with a rural chief and a rural training officer, that conversation is going to go great places. The same can be said with any of the regional reps. Is if I can start that relationship, these guys are going to handle the rest of it, and kind of light that fire or help out wherever they can. So that's my goal. That's why we're here, and that's kind of some of the stuff that we're going to be doing throughout the next year is going to be increasing our visibility in North Dakota Fire Service.
I think you started in December with the instructors conference again. I think, we didn't have an awesome, ginormous, huge turnout, but we had an improvement from the year before, and I think that has been because you guys wanted to make this better. You want to reach out to these people, and it wasn't the best of weather, and there was people from our side of the state out there, and there was people from the north that were down in Bismarck, so there's people that wanted to be there, and the more you can promote this stuff and the more, like you said, you're visible, the more outreach you're gonna have for those people that are in those departments looking for any additional help. So I think that was a great start to make that going. Now, some fire school stuff, some regional fire school stuff that we'll talk about. I think you're gonna just keep building. How about along similar lines, I guess, where do you guys want to see this go, the Instructor Society? I know right away we started to pay to be a member, and then now membership's free. So if you want to be a member of the Instructor Society, it is totally free to join, and reap the rewards that the work they've done. The website that Lydia's got on there is awesome. So. If anybody that's watching this now or is gonna watch it, like it's free to join, and it's a structure, it's a communication structure for anybody in the state to reach out to anybody else. So I guess I don't know, anybody want to jump in on what other thoughts you got or any direction you want to see the society go, other than I think we got lesson plans on there now and some things like that.
Just Matt, just in as far as the lesson plan, you brought that up. Being involved in that and getting to see that side of things and the access that is available to those members with those lesson plans. Man, that's worth its weight in gold right there.
Yeah.
Especially for somebody that it's not always thinking about this sort of stuff. That person that's kind of got thrown into that role unexpectedly and go, okay, how do I lay out my training for the next month or the next year? And what things should I think about covering? And hey, I want to do ladders. Okay, well then what? How do I lay out that training? Right. That access for that outlines, and that's a living document. Like, there's always things being added and changed on there. There's some stuff that I need to add on there as well. Some outlines that I need to add on there as well. But just to have access to that, at least to give you a starting point, is extremely valuable. And I even in my roles, I've taken stuff off of there and go, hey, that's a different way to think about things, or try layout this way and this, instead, because it's one of those, so you kind of get in your rut after a while, right? If you've been a training officer for a little bit, you go, this is how I like to do ladders, or this is how I like to do forcible entry or search or whatever, and you kind of go, I don't know, I didn't want to think about it this month. That's what I had on the schedule that I laid out in January, and that's where we're going to do it. And it can get stagnant for your members, and so I don't think there's a volunteer or paid on call department in the state that's like has too many people or wish they had less people showing up for training. So it's always about keeping those members engaged, maybe taking those members that you haven't seen in a while and bringing them back, getting them re-engaged. But then again, those people that are there, that everybody's got that 20% that's really solid that is going to show up, right? Make sure that they stay active and excited about training too.
Yep, for sure.
So that's a great way to start, and I really encourage people to utilize that from the website.
Yeah, it'd be cool to, I think they'll take any addition to any lesson plan that anybody's made, and share share it so the whole state can use it. If you had a banger lesson plan and your whole department loved it, get it out to Lydia, and I bet she'll throw it on there for you just so everybody's looking at it. So, anybody else, Aaron? Any other insight on where you want this to go? What do you want to see going on with the whole society? It's got kind of the similar question as the first one.
No, I think we kind of hit on it, I guess, for the most part. But I think it's just like I said, getting a good mentorship program going for the
Yeah.
guys and gals.
That's huge. Yep, that's huge. I mentioned before I've had Rick Jorgensen and he has helped me out a ton. Call him, he calls me. We go grab lunch when he's in town or something like that. And it's been awesome to be able to reach out to that person to make sure you're in the right direction, going the right way, covering the right stuff, not stepping on anybody's toes or anything like that. So let's switch gears. Let's talk about what's coming up next. We've got fire school coming up the end of February. So do you guys want to hit up? You took over the vendor show, the chili feed, all that. So that's pretty exciting.
Yeah, we had an opportunity to and this was a discussion with Minot. It wasn't a strong arm move at all. So it was mutual. And Battalion Chief Burns has been helping us out with the transition. And actually, Joe has been doing quite a bit of the work on that. So I'm going to default to him talking about some of the stuff that's going on with the vendor show and the chili feed up there.
I'm I'm not doing this by myself. So Lydia has also been very influential and helpful with all this. But yeah, so taking it over, the chili feed's still a go. It's still going to happen on Friday night, along with the Instructor of the Year announcement. The raffle, all that's still the same. The kegs are still going to flow just like they always have in the past. But we listened to a few of the vendors that I know me and Eric talked with a couple of them during our class, but just how the layout wasn't. Some of the vendors didn't feel it was probably the best. They feel like they didn't get the interaction that they wanted. So, with the NDFA wanting to take over the big hall where the vendor show normally is, we're going to let them do that, and we're going to put the vendor show more so in the hallway. I forget what hall it is, and Lydia, you can tell me which hall it is, but the one that firefighter one is normally in, that's going to become the vendor spot for the trucks and the
Okay.
larger displays. So
Back to kind of the way it was then.
yep.
Yeah, nice.
And then we're going to try to make it so it's you come in, you check in at the desk at the NDFA with Julie, and then you Lydia just said the 4-H hall. Thank you.
Yep.
You check in at the NDFA, get your credentials and stuff. You'll go off to the side, go through the truck area, and then it'll funnel you right into the hallways for the vendor show. So hoping that works. It's a trial and error thing this year, but I think as a society we thought that was a good adjustment to try out this year. If it doesn't work, we'll try something different. But and we're open to suggestions. As of right now, I believe we have 26 vendors already signed up. A few of them have some pretty big spots, which is good. So hopefully some great product will be there, and it's open until I believe the 16th of February. We're still taking submissions. So you need any information or anybody that needs information, contact me or Lydia, and we'll go from there.
That's cool. That's going to be good. We've been doing the same thing over and over again in those two big halls, so it'll be fun to get to interact with those as you're walking down the hall. They'll be able to jump and grab you, or you'll be able to do the same as you're going down to our end of the building there in the big end hall, where a few of the classes are. They'll be able to walk right by everybody. So that's really cool. I like that. I like that a lot. Um, Regional schools. What do we got on tap for regional schools? I know Dickinson's got their plan going again. Is that right?
Yeah, the April 30th through May 3rd is the NODAC defrost. I believe a lot of the classes are filling up.
Yep.
Um,
Yep. They put
we'll
on a
end
really
up
good show. That's cool. What is there anything other than fire school in the Northwest? Does anybody have a plan to throw a smaller regional one together in the Northwest?
They've got a regional one going on in Williston, April 18 and 19. I haven't seen the what classes they have on there yet.
Okay.
Um, it just kind of came out. Um, I know I'm occupied that weekend, so I won't be able to be a part of it. But um, yeah, I mean it's good. I think they're going to hope there. And a lot of it has to do with the Williston folks. I think they're trying to draw people in from Williams County, Divide, Burke, McKenzie, maybe even out of the Montana side. So
Yeah.
I
Yep.
think it's been a while since they put on anything big up there other than their own,
Yep.
and so hoping it's a big success.
Yep.
And it's kind of like going to be like 2 weeks before the defrost. So telling people it's like, hey, it's just going to be if you're looking for training, it's all going to be something's close rather than having to run clear across the state. And
Yep.
but go. I
Yep.
mean, these opportunities don't come along that often.
Nope, nope. I know Dickinson's got big name people and they're cheap. It's not breaking the bank. It's not FDIC prices. It's not water on the fire prices. It's good, cheap, close training. You drive a few hours and you're there. So that's awesome.
With
So
the defrost, I mean, last year, I mean, they had got some people making donations, and
yeah,
this year too, they are actually looking to be able to provide motel rooms for people coming in from out of town. So
yep,
they're
yep.
serious about it.
Yep, they are. They're not messing around. They've got some people that they want to showcase. So that's awesome that they're bringing people from around the state in there. So, right, southeast is Dickinson, or southwest is Dickinson, northwest and Williston. Have we heard? Is Devil's Lake going to put one on again? I think they did one last year, I believe.
Yeah, they did the last couple of years up there, and
Yeah,
it's kind of right before FDIC, kind of that April when it still doesn't know if it wants to be spring or winter.
yeah, yep,
I was up there last year. I was going to FDIC, so I didn't go last year, but I was teaching the year before there. They did have it 2 years in a row, so I would think they would put something together this year.
yep.
I mean, it'd be
Okay,
nice if they did. They got
more to
great
hear on
facilities
that.
for it.
Yeah, yep, they got a perfect spot for it up there, and lots of trucks to make things happen, so that's cool.
Aaron, on that note, I believe in March they're doing their Devil's Lake regional, but I haven't quite seen an advertisement for that, so I think that'll start getting pushed out here shortly. So,
Sure. Yep, yep.
Yeah, I
Cool.
haven't seen anything. Yep.
And then southeast will be, I think Wapaton is working in the works again for, they're usually the end of October, beginning of
Mhm.
November or something like that. So that's been a hit. Clint and Max have done an awesome job with the college. We searched in real rooms. We smoked up a real building. We flowed water in the bathroom. Like we had a great time this last year with very, very realistic scenarios. We ended the day just like our evaluations class at fire school. We ended the day with the search group going in to search, the engine company pulling hose to go in and knock the fire down, and then we had Caribou's incident command class. We had that working out in a pickup in one of the local department's pickups. They were running radios. We had dispatchers from the Wapaton area. They were participating, so we had an awesome time. It got all put together really, really easy, and everybody flowed really nice. So that I thought that was awesome for the people that participated.
Matt, one of the downfalls of and this, I'm not trying to talk people out of being an instructor, but one of the downfalls is I get to see all of these awesome classes. You brought up Caribou's, your class that you taught down,
Yeah.
and I tried walking away from the class me and Joe were teaching so I could jump into yours and jump into Caribou's because
Yep.
it looked like so much fun.
Yeah.
But if you're not getting out, not going to these regionals, you're not going to see these classes. And I think Jason's his incident command class, like it sounds like every time he opens that up, that thing is filled.
Yep.
He's utilizing other people's classes. I know he comes to our car pile class, and they, you know, I don't know exactly what they do, but they chunk it out and kind of run a little incident command off the car
Yep.
pile. And
Yep.
I knew that they did that for your guys' class. It's super cool idea, utilizing what he has available to him. So that's a pretty cool class. I think I gotta take it one of these times.
I know it's so hard. There's so many good classes at fire school, and then I signed myself up to teach 20 hours, so you can't get away. Can't even make it to the vendor's booth. You're running to grab lunch or going to the bathroom, and then you're back at it again. So teaching, I always say I want to take one afternoon off so I can go do something else, but then here I am putting myself through it again. So. It seems to always bite me that I'm always going for the same thing over and over again, trying to make it better. That's what we're always trying to do too, is make things better. So, well, that's
Matt,
cool.
you kind of bring up a good point there too. Is as instructors, we're probably good in where we're at, but there's always things, new stuff coming up. So it's important instructors go out and see what's new out there,
Yep. Go take a
get
class.
yourself recharged and talk to other instructors. So, um, I mean, if you got the time, you're not instructing, take in some of these things, get some ideas.
Yep, for sure. Yeah, I know it's not cheap, but FDIC is coming up the end of April. That is an amazing place to go to. And even if you go Thursday, Friday, Saturday, or Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, you don't have to take the workshops the first 2 days. Go for the end of the week, fly in and then bus in from the airport. That's very doable as well too, but FDIC is so cool and has got a wealth of knowledge. So that place is that's I mean, there's other places. South Dakota's got good classes. Minnesota's offering classes just across the border at Monoman and in Moorhead. They've had some Detroit Lake stuff. So, I mean, there are classes. I'm sure there's stuff happening in Crookston and Bemidji that people on this side of the state. I'm sure there's things happening right on the other side of in Montana too that people, run out there. Don't always have to instruct, but go be part of it. Go take it in and make yourself better.
South Dakota as
Also,
well.
yep. I just saw a note pop up here, and thank you, Kristen, for reminding me. But yes, the Prairie Fire Conference is again. Eric, is that at the beginning of August this year again in
Yes,
Mandan?
it's that same time frame. We have the dates set, and I forget them off the top of my head, but yes, that Prairie Fire Conference year two is going to be coming up again this summer.
Nice. Don't make that in the last week of July. Yep, there we go. Last week of July. That's baseball for me. That's okay. I'm just being selfish now. Well, guys,
That
go ahead.
I got one more
Yep.
advertisement I want to push out there. Fire School, we are having a instructors breakfast. Uh, we were talking about instructors getting together, sharing ideas, all that kind of stuff. This is our chance up at Fire School. So 7 a.m. Saturday morning, we are having instructors breakfast in All Seasons Arena. The invite is to anybody instructing at Fire School, but we're not going to have the police at the door. If you want to come in, you want to sit down with instructors, have breakfast with us, come join us, come pick our brains. I know you got to get up a little bit early, but that's your opportunity to sit down. Oscar will tell you all about his 50 years in the fire service. Matt will tell you about the great things they're doing on the east end of the state. So
That's cool. That's really cool. That's gonna be fun, I think. Get everybody started on Saturday. That'll be really fun to see everybody. All right. Well, I think we're right at our hour. That's kind of what we've been shooting for everybody to not take up too much time. So I really appreciate talking to you five. This was really cool. Set a good standard of what the Instructor Society is. I think you guys laid it out in a great way, what you guys want to see, what you offer. So I can't thank you enough for this sixth episode. This was awesome to talk to you guys. So look forward to seeing everybody out at fire school. Tell your people in your department to get signed up. I know we've had, 700, 600, 700. Let's get up there. Let's get 800. Let's see how many we can get. I think that'd be awesome to see if we can get a bunch of people out there. So I really appreciate talking to you guys. This was awesome. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I think John said today that they're pushing 800 already. So
Already? Yeah, that's cool. That's really cool. So, all right. Thanks, guys. I
yeah, thanks,
appreciate it.
Matt.
Lydia, I think she usually posts this on the social media pages, so we'll get some views out there after this. So it was great to see all the people that were on there. We had quite a few people on again, so hopefully we can make this bigger and better each and every time and get this passed out to around the state. Make sure we're hitting every department we can. So thanks for coming, guys. Appreciate it.
Hey, Matt,
Thanks for having us, Matt.
Yep.
there's none of these guys or gals down below that had any questions today. I see there's a few on here that aren't on the board that
Oh,
are
thank you,
besides Lydia.
Aaron. I saw
I just
Lydia
wanted to make
post.
sure. I mean,
Yep. Lydia did put on the Instructor Society website, so you can go on there, use that link on there. But yeah, I guess if anybody wants to end it with any questions, you go ahead and throw her in the chat. I know Gunch is probably out hitting his hacky sack.
He better be working on his project for firefighter or fire instructor too.
Oh,
Yeah.
is that this week? Are you guys in that right now?
Yeah.
Ah,
Just kicked it off this morning. We started
oh.
day one of Fire Instructor 2.
I go to
So,
FDI, or not FDIC, sorry. I go to Emmitsburg the 31st, so I could not get away for another week.
yeah.
All right, well, nothing on there, so let's shut her down and we'll see you guys at the next one.
yep. See you at fire school.
Yep, thank you.